Have you ever witnessed the exact moment when raw, unrefined talent collides headfirst with a world built brick by brick on privilege and pedigree? When she touched that piano, they laughed. But what none of them saw coming was that she was about to turn their entire world upside down. At just 15, Maya Thompson knew the piano better than she knew most people. She didn't read it off sheet music like others. She felt it, absorbed it, lived it. But in a place like Kensington School of Music, where tuition cost more than some people's mortgages, where lineage mattered more than artistry, Maya wasn't supposed to matter. She was a girl from the East End. Her mother worked night shifts at a rehab facility, and the closest Maya had come to classical music was the scratched second-hand keyboard in their cramped apartment. But talent has a way of insisting on being heard. On a chilly Saturday in October, the doors of Kensington opened to welcome prospective students. Marble floors reflected designer shoes, gold chandeliers twinkled over hushed conversations, and the smell of citrus-scented polish lingered in the air. Maya arrived with her mother, Naomi, in their one surviving church outfit, pressed as best they could and worn sneakers that no amount of scrubbing could pass off as formal. Inside, they were greeted with polite detachment. A woman with a tight bun and an even tighter smile handed Maya a program. "You're welcome to observe the showcase in the main hall," she said, her eyes sweeping over Maya's scuffed shoes and her mother's discount coat. "But please refrain from touching the instruments unless supervised." Maya nodded, clutching the paper program like a shield. Her eyes darted across the names printed in glossy black ink. Penelope March, Sebastian Whitford, Arabella Van Cleef, and at the bottom, in italic gold, "Finale, Camille Harrington performing Liszt La Campanella." She recognized the name. Everyone knew Camille. Daughter of a renowned conductor and a Juilliard alumna, she had been playing concert halls since she was 8. She was beautiful, confident, and terrifying. Maya and Naomi found seats near the back. As the lights dimmed, the murmurs quieted. One by one, students took to the Steinway grand piano and delivered performances that dazzled the ears, technically flawless, but to Maya's surprise, emotionally hollow. It was like watching ice sculptures melt into music. Then Camille walked onto the stage. She wore a navy blue satin dress that shimmered with every step. Her blonde hair was swept into a perfect bun. She didn't glance at the audience. She didn't need to. She knew she owned the room. As her fingers touched the keys, the first haunting notes of Liszt's notoriously difficult piece rang out, executed with crystalline clarity. By the time she struck the final note, the audience erupted into applause. Everyone rose to their feet. Everyone except Maya. She sat frozen, heart pounding, hands clenched in a fist on her lap. Naomi leaned over. "You okay, baby?" Maya nodded slowly. "I could do that." Her mother smiled gently. "I know you could." During the intermission, Maya wandered toward the front. The piano sat unattended, its glossy black surface gleaming under the chandelier light. She stepped up, barely breathing, and rested her fingertips on the keys, not playing, just touching. "What do you think you're doing?" A voice cut through the silence like glass. Camille stood 10 feet away, arms crossed, flanked by 2 fellow students. Her voice was icy. "That's a 6-figure instrument, not a toy." "I wasn't playing it," Maya said quickly, withdrawing her hands. Camille took a step forward. "Don't touch what you can't afford." The words hit harder than a slap. Conversations around them faded as heads turned. Maya's cheeks burned with shame. She started to back away. "What's going on here?" A voice interjected. It was Mr. Kent, the director of student affairs, with Mr. Darby, the head of piano studies, beside him. Camille's demeanor changed instantly. "Just making sure the equipment stays protected, sir." "Mr. Kent looked between them. "Miss Thompson, is it?" Maya nodded. "Do you play?" "Yes," she said quietly. "Mr. Darby spoke for the first time. "Then perhaps you'd like to demonstrate." Camille scoffed. "You can't be serious." "Mr. Darby raised an eyebrow. "Actually, I'm very serious. Kensington was founded on the principle of merit above all. If Miss Thompson has the courage to play here, she deserves the opportunity." A ripple of curiosity moved through the growing crowd. Maya's heart thudded in her chest. She looked over at her mother, who had appeared at the edge of the crowd, her face a mixture of fear and pride. Maya stepped forward. Her legs felt like jelly, but her finger-sure fingers remembered. She sat down at the piano bench, adjusted it slightly, and placed her hands on the keys. She took one breath, then another, and then she began. The opening chords of Chopin's Ballade No. 1 in G minor filled the hall. At first tentative, her playing soon gathered strength. The notes swelled and soared, and the room held its breath. It was not perfect. There were slips, uneven pedaling, signs of a self-taught musician, but there was something else, something none of the earlier performances had offered: soul. Maya didn't play the piece. She told a story of struggle, of yearning, of nights spent alone with cracked keys and scratchy YouTube tutorials, of music learned not by rote, but by heart. By the time she reached the final crashing chords, the hall was silent. Then came the applause. It started with one person, then two. Then the entire hall rose to their feet. Even Mr. Darby clapped slowly, eyes glinting with something between awe and recognition. Camille stood stiffly, arms folded, jaw clenched. Mr. Ken approached the bench. "Miss Thompson," he said, "how long have you been playing?" "Since I was 7, Maya replied. "Lessons?" "No, sir. I taught myself." Murmurs filled the room. Mr. Darby stepped forward. "We need to speak with you and your mother." By the following week, Maya had been offered a full scholarship to Kensington School of Music, complete with housing assistance and mentorship from Mr. Darby himself. She was enrolled not as a visitor, but as a student. Camille Harrington was not pleased. In the weeks that followed, Maya endured stares, whispers, and thinly veiled condescension. But she also found allies. Her sight reading improved. Her technique sharpened. She learned to navigate the theory and history classes she had once feared. Slowly but surely, she carved out a space. Then came the winter recital. Mr. Darby had surprise. "This year," he announced, "we're doing something different. A duet. Maya Thompson and Camille Harrington will perform Schubert's Fantasia in F minor for 4 hands." Camille looked like she'd swallowed a lemon. But the duet rehearsals began. At first, they were agonizing. Camille nitpicked every note. Maya struggled to match her tempo. They fought over phrasing, fingering, even posture. But over time, something shifted. Camille began listening. Maya began asking questions. By the final rehearsal, their hands moved like one. On the night of the recital, the audience sat packed in Kensington's Grand Hall. Mr. Darby stepped up to the microphone. "Tonight," he said, "you will witness something rare, not just technical mastery, but collaboration between 2 artists who represent the very heart of what music should be." Maya and Camille took the stage. The lights dimmed, and then they played. The Fantasia filled the hall, weaving emotion and precision into a tapestry of sound so rich that it left the audience breathless. They played not as rivals, but as partners. At the final note, the audience rose as one. Camille turned to Maya. "You were right," she whispered. "About what?" "That piano isn't just for those who can afford it. It's for those who can make it speak." Maya smiled. She had come from nothing, but she brought everything with her: her heart, her grit, her music. And Kensington would never be the same again.